Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. My name is Marco Levine. This is Evan McCall. That's the part where you say my name's Evan McCall.
He said my name is Evan McCall.
What?
What are we doing
We're
here?
trying to make an intro.
No, but not like a what's going on, guys?
What's
Make
good,
sure
guys?
to hit that like
Welcome
button
back
down
to our
below.
podcast.
Like
Make sure
and
to
subscribe.
Smash that like button in the face.
Like a boss. Bro, Jacksepticeye.
Top of the morning, you laddie.
What a fucking goat.
Actual G. You posted something like today. It was like
You watched Jacksepticeye?
Well, I saw it on my like suggested.
Okay.
It was like he posted a video about like how much hate there is on the internet and stuff. It was called like it's like a one, you know when YouTubers make those like one word title videos.
Yeah.
That's like, I was like, all right, like this is like, it's being shown to me. It had like 2 million views.
Or the raw videos where they like put them turning the camera on, so it's like
I've made a
this is
severe
emotional.
and continuous lapse in my judgment. I'm so,
I'm sorry I filmed that guy in the forest.
Yeah. What's up, Low Gang?
What up, Mavericks?
Have you heard about that like Mr. Beast, KSI, Logan Paul drama?
I heard the KSI song.
Oh yeah, I'm in the thick of it, everybody. You know that one?
I guess so.
No, they're releasing like, Lunchables. Did you ever have Lunchables as a kid?
Yes.
The Lunchables, with the cheese and all that. I never had Lunchable. I wasn't a Lunchable kid.
Yeah.
My parents packed my lunchboxes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was a hot lunch kid.
Love right there. Oh, you were a hot lunch kid.
Yeah. Double hot lunch. I paid for double.
I used to be jealous
I
of
was
the hot lunch
bulking.
kids because they had it. You were
Oh,
bulking?
you were jealous?
Well, this is in like elementary school.
What of our 45-cent lean
They got
cuisine?
pizza. They got pizza. I never got pizza.
Yeah, but you got a homemade meal. I got cardboard with cheese on it.
I was a very ungrateful kid. Anyway, they're promoting this their competition. They're promoting Lunchly, which is a competitor to Lunchables, and there's just all this controversy. Lunchly, it's Mr. Beast, like his like Feastables bars.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul and KSI have their prime drink.
Oh my goodness.
And they're making and they're combining those and then adding some like crackers and cheese and stuff and pepperoni or whatever, and they're promoting that as a competitor to Lunchables. But right now, like where all three of them are at, where Logan Paul and Mr. Beast are at right now, like Mr. Beast is swarming in controversy.
What did he do again?
He it all started like this summer, I think, where somebody came out, a former ex-employee of his, and was like,
Chris Tyson?
Not Chris Tyson.
Or
It was just like you've like employed like a known like sex offender. You've like, in your challenges, like some of the stuff was like inhumane, like torture type of stuff, like.
wait, I just thought he hired like the pedophile.
No, it's a lot of stuff, it's he kind of just mistreats his workers and his contestants, and there's stuff coming out about him. He's not in a very favorable light right now. He hasn't responded to any of it.
Didn't he build like 180 wells in Africa?
I know he did. No,
people are still mad at him.
He still is kind of, the golden boy of YouTube,
I don't know. I haven't seen any of his drama.
I love Mr. Beast.
But his whole channel is literally philanthropy at crazy scales.
Yep.
I feel like the pros got to outweigh the cons at some point.
I think they do. I think that just he's gone a bit too far on some of his challenges where he's like subjected people. No, he doesn't. He subjected people to conditions that have been called inhumane. Like even in like in terms of like you don't even treat prisoners that way.
Yeah, but they're fun
but
to watch.
But they can quit whenever they want. It's like that like prison experiment that happened. I learned about this in psychology a bit ago. It's they.
Russia?
Not in Russia, in the U.S.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the no sleep experiment.
Different thing. This experiment was like that was a while ago. I don't even know when it was. They divided these college students into prisoners and prison guards, and for 2 weeks they're supposed to remain in these conditions with each serving their role. And it got to the point where it didn't even last 6 days. I think it ended day 6 because the prison guards, these are all college students, were so inhumane, like beating people, like not giving them food, locking them in like solitary for day, like some like out of some like frat
sit down pledge.
No, exactly, frat pledging stuff. So this experiment was stopped. But I'm thinking like, and we're learning about this through the lens of inhumane experiments. We learned about an experiment where somebody had to press a button every time that somebody else who they couldn't see was answering a question. If they answered wrong, they press a button that would electrocute them, and every button press, it would increase the voltage, and you could hear the person like yelling for the electrocution.
I've seen this.
But they didn't know is that nobody was getting electrocuted. The person was just a voice actor, and they, and after the experiment would only end when the voltage went so high that the person stopped responding when they pressed the button, or when the person pressing the button said, "I can't do this anymore." The third experiment we learned about was one with kids and conditioning kids to be scared whenever you see a mouse. They put a mouse in front of a kid and they played a loud sound, and the kid would get scared to the point that even when they didn't play a loud sound and just had a mouse, the kid would be scared. And they were like, so in my section in psychology, they were like, these are all inhumane experiments. And I'm kind of coming out of here thinking, I feel like the only one that is genuinely bad, in my opinion, is the one with the kid, because the kid can't consent. That's just inhumane, and the kid will have, this is a very developmental stage for them, that it's a developmental stage. They could carry this into their life, into their adulthood. The other two,
irrational fear of mice.
Yeah, there's something to that.
Fine, if they're young kids, I understand. But with pressing
adults,
an electrocuting button,
I mean,
for a person who doesn't even exist, how is that?
They're gonna pop out and they're gonna go, "I was fine," and then that's gonna be it. No one's gonna need therapy from that. It's not crazy. And with the prison experiment, you can just give up whenever you want. You can say, "Hey, this is too much for me. I'm bowing out."
I want to do the prison one. We should do the prison one at UC Santa Barbara.
That's just called
UC
being
Santa
a
Barbara
pledge.
Prison
That's
experiment.
called being a
No,
pledge.
but we're gonna rebrand it. Prison experiment.
UCSD prison, bring it, run it back.
For my psych thesis.
So
We're gonna run it back.
I forget how we got to this. Mr. Beast.
All right, so Mr. Beast is basically worse than all three of those combined, apparently.
Well, so people. I mean, you know how the internet is. People get very up in arms about a lot of things, and some of it is pretty justifiable. But I don't think that. I mean, I don't know the full story.
I don't know the story. I heard he hired a pedophile and he fired a pedophile once he found out they were a pedophile. That's all I've heard. I don't know.
There are hour-long takedown videos and there's hour-long rebuttal videos. And
give me the 30-second summary. Is this like a dream, I'm sorry I cheated video?
Well, he hasn't responded yet.
Dream?
Mr. Beast.
Oh.
He just went radio silent and he kept posting his regular content. He hasn't even touched the drama. He's letting his PR team handle that. I think that, I'm sure a lot of this holds truth, but I'm not sure if it matters all that much. I mean, for parts of it. I don't think that if it's a competition, when somebody wants to bow out, they can just bow out. I believe in the free will that someone can just say, I don't want to do this anymore. And maybe, money is involved, so there is a certain level of I should stick in it. I should stick with it to get this money that will help me in my life. But at the same time,
well, look at it this way. One of my favorite shows that I watch with my parents are Naked and Afraid. Are you familiar?
I am, yeah.
Where you go out, they get two random contestants, complete strangers, to strip naked and live off the land in some random African savanna or New Zealand wetlands or something, and just live, hunt, fish, build your own shelter out of trees and sticks, and live out there for 7 days. You can bow out whenever you want. You can, there's a medical team. If there's if there's a tiger, they'll shoot it, and all these safety precautions. But it's fun because it's you don't know what's gonna happen, and it's I don't know about the word inhumane. There's levels to it. What do you want to classify as humane? What do you classify as humane? I mean,
I think it depends on the person. It depends on what somebody can take. It isn't. People classify pledging as inhumane. It depends on the worldview. In my opinion, I think that people who haven't been subjected to certain things will see. Well, the bar will be lower for them to classify something as inhumane. I think it really depends on the type of person you are and what your values are and what you've been through. And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think that some things are, I mean, when it's physical harm, to a certain extent, yeah, that could be inhumane, but...
Well, see, this is where I just get annoyed at Western society for taking for granted how good things are in a lot of cases. Like, for example, in a lot of cultures, you talk about inhumane. In a lot of cultures, you're taught to suppress your feelings. Don't talk about your emotions. If you're a guy, don't cry because that's weak. This is ubiquitous in a lot of world cultures, but I think that's inhumane. I think that's terrible. I think if you tell a little kid, a little child, that you can't cry, you can't express your feelings, that kid is going to grow up to have some really big problems that are going to haunt him later in life. And I know a lot of individuals who've reported that to me. That, I think, is inhumane, as much as everything else. But like, who's the arbiter of what's inhumane and what's not? If you build 170 wells in Africa, but you accidentally hire a pedophile, is that any more or less inhumane than something seen ubiquitously in world cultures? I don't know.
I think that he's done a lot of good. And I mean, let
me clarify. I don't know this situation. I don't know what's going on. Can you give me like a 30-second summary?
I think I
know.
did.
Well, but pedophile.
Well,
he
hired some. I mean, he's hard on his workers. He demands a lot of grinding, a lot of. I mean, he wants them to be constantly working. He hired this. I don't know if it was a pedophile or a sex offender or something, or what that was. And some of his challenges. He's doing this Amazon Prime show, kind of like Squid Game. Have you seen Squid Game?
I love Squid Game.
Yeah, this new season is coming out soon.
Now that's inhumane. No, that's inhumane.
And with his challenges, this new Amazon Prime show, I've heard that the conditions were really bad, that people weren't being given sanitary products, that women weren't given like tampons and stuff. I don't know the validity of this. This isn't, Mr. Beast isn't withholding someone's tampon. Yeah. But
you got to work harder than that.
Yeah, but it's people under his management, and the brand is Mr. Beast. So any critiques levied against the company will his name is Jimmy. Mr. Beast his name is
Jimmy.
Jimmy, I don't know his last name.
Jimmy Beast.
I just know it's Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy Beast. Any critiques leveled towards Mr. Beast, he's the head. So it often falls to Mr. Beast, and he's promoting. Back to the main topic of Lunchly. He's having his issues right now. Logan Paul recently with the crypto scams that he's been doing.
Crypto. Oh yeah, all the
he
making their own.
He remade his image. He, after that Suicide Forest thing, I gotta bleep that.
Unalive Forest.
The Unalive Forest. He was. People hated him for a long time, and he's done a lot to rebrand his image. He went on he actually started a podcast.
Didn't he do that stint in the WWE?
Yeah, he started boxing. He fought KSI. Then they combined. They formed Prime. They started this energy drink, and now recently he started this pump and dump crypto scheme where he would get people to pay him, and then with the promise of them being able to make more money through this app that he never ended up developing, and then he didn't get people their money back, and then this other YouTuber exposed him, and he started trying to take him down, and then public perception flipped on him, so then he apologized publicly, and then privately he doubled down and he sent more cease and desist letters. So he, very scummy, in my opinion, very scummy practices. So he's also not being seen in the best light. And KSI, the golden boy of the trio, now this other YouTuber, Dan TDM, he's like,
yeah, Dr. Traoris.
Yeah, Minecraft, like our childhood.
He's still around?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Dan TDM.
So he messaged on Twitter. He was like, imagine trying to sell this like stuff to kids. Like it's unhealthy food.
Oh, I've seen this video.
And then KSI started like a one-man war against him. Like a one-man like crusade, responding to all of his tweets. Like, you suck, all that. In his new music video, which sucked, he was gonna put a part in it that like dissed Dan TDM, but they removed it. Like the studio, he got bummed that they removed the part. He reacted to his own music video and he was like, "Where's the part about Dan TDM? They removed it."
Wait, didn't KSI, he dropped the song with Trippie Redd, right?
Thick of It, yeah,
That's what it's called,
it's
Thick
called
of
Thick
It?
of It. Yeah, I'm in the thick of it.
And it was horrible, right?
It was terrible.
I haven't listened to it. It's bad. I've just seen the internet.
I've never
memes
seen
and
the
they're
full
like, it's
video. I've just
terrible.
seen it on TikTok. That's how I know the
Exactly.
parts that I know. That's how, you know. It's a silly song. I mean, it's catchy. It's stuck in my, it's been stuck in my head. But it's objectively really bad. In my, it's a nobody's enjoying it. But anyway, he was the one member of that trio that wasn't getting in any controversy, and then he started to trailblaze, and that got him into a bunch of stuff. So where we're at right now is it's not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I just think social media has propagated such a one-dimensional way to where it's impossible, if you have any varied experience, to be seen in a good light, because if you do anything wrong, you're the sum of that.
Well, true. It's people.
Some people are bad. From, I don't know, this Mr. Beast stuff sounds bad. KSI, his song sounds bad. I'm sure there's bad people, but there's also good people who are seen in the negative light because the people just don't want to
Well, nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
You can feed kids in Africa, and
not feed your employees.
And yeah, it really, you could be on top of the world one day doing the best stuff, and the second somebody sees, oh, you did this that I don't like, you can get stuff swayed so much in the other direction. People, it's easier to hate than to be positive, and the internet, social media, it heavily polarizes people.
And it's not even about actions. I think actions hold more weight than words, but I think a lot of people are attacking ideologies that they don't fully understand just because they feel comfortable in their safe place of subscribing to a certain belief system that they've always done, that their family does, that the people around them have, because that gives them safety and security, intellectually and physically. They have a set of beliefs and they don't want to hear the counterpoint to that because it's scary. And engaging in civil disagreements, even though there's no threat of danger, it's scary. Being in an argument, it's not a pleasant thing. But as a cornerstone,
there's plenty of people like being in arguments. I think that some people thrive off of that. Some people. I used to go on Twitter and just argue with people. I used to just be that. I remember. Up until pretty recently, honestly, I went to UC Davis.
Yesterday?
No. No. I went to UC Davis. I remember, and this is when I stopped it. I deleted Twitter for a while, just because it's a cesspool of stuff, and I wasn't on it. And then I went to UC Davis for picnic day, which picnic day is when all the frats throw at Davis, and it's their Deltopia basically. And Deltopia is when all our frats throw. And it wasn't the best thing ever. Stuff happened and I was just unhappy. I was like, oh, okay, this kind of sucks. And on the ride home, I was kind of bummed. And I re-downloaded Twitter and I just started posting bait stuff and just getting responses.
Okay, you're the problem.
Oh, no, I was the issue for a while. And I spent maybe 3 days doing that, just arguing with people and just just being terrible. And there are people who I fundamentally disliked, and I was like, you guys suck. But I didn't make the issue any better. I didn't try to go at it from a point of understanding. I just wanted to fight. I just wanted to argue. And after 3 days went by, and I just kind of went, this is actually just some vile, I do not want to get in these arguments. I do not want to be this much of a hater. And I just deleted my entire Twitter account. I never re-downloaded it. I was like, all right, this sucks. And I think it helped a lot.
Well, here's the caveat to that, because I might be the devil is calling someone else the devil while being the devil. I don't like the, screenager warriors, the TikTok comment warriors who will voice their opinion with no repercussions. I think it was like what Mike Tyson said. People used to get punched in the face, and now like they can just type online. But my point is that, you know, argumentative. This is a whole psychological thing, which you might know about. The Big Five. It was a very ironclad psychological doctrine made in like the 1950s to 1980s, I want to say, that people's personalities, which were up until that point seen as kind of this vague thing, like how do you classify who someone is? But they figured it out, and they distilled it into 5 categories, which, if I'm not mistaken, are agreeableness, openness to experience, conscientiousness, neuroticism, and extroversion. And one of those 5 is the agreeableness. And what they found is, because they're psychologists, they did all sorts of tests, like who are the people who are more agreeable, like what do they look like, what do their lives consist of, and what careers do they take versus people with other ones. What they found is that the people, the CEOs, the executives, the people who are making stuff happen, the world leaders, you would think they would be high in agreeableness, but it was actually the opposite. They were very low in agreeableness, because if you think about it intuitively, like if you're working at a company and you want to make more money, you're going to have to go into your office and kind of demand a raise. And your boss is likely going to be apprehensive to give you that raise. Even if you've put in the work, they just don't want to pay you more if they don't have to. The more agreeable people are going to kind of succumb to that and be like, okay, I'll just keep this wage for another year or 2. It's fine. But the less agreeable people, they're going to be like, hell no, I've done so many reports. I've been the sales executive of the year. You better give me my damn raise. And those people, more often than not, are the people who are moving up the ladder. So how that relates to this is, I think what you talk about is just like baiting or being inflammatory on the internet. I think on the internet is the problem. I admire someone. If they are willing to go up to someone and just call them out on their shit, I like that. Like, I really do. If you believe you have an opinion and you can back it up in an articulate, concise, and accurate manner, that's badass to me. I think that's so cool. Like, if someone gives their opinion, I did it all the time in Santa Cruz. Granted, everyone was freaking against me there. Here, I haven't gone out. I've just worked, but I'm down to get into some civil disagreements because it's fun. It tests your knowledge. When I hear counterpoints, it develops my own thinking. That's why I think it's so important to hear counterpoints, because you don't know what you really believe until you hear compelling evidence against it. This is what Plato said. I was one of the spa philosophers, to question your deepest held belief. I think that's so important. I think that is a pivotal structure for society that we're renovating into. People like you, we're going on Twitter, being inflammatory, and posting rage bait.
Not anymore. I'm reformed.
Okay, not anymore. But now we have Gen
Twitter.
Alpha.
I said I deleted Twitter.
Okay. See?
And I was arguing about, like...
Bless.
Yeah.
What, like Roblox, like
Transformers. Yeah.
Okay. Transformers. But my point in saying that is, I respect someone if they can go up to someone and call them out on their shit and just be like, no, I disagree for these reasons. But if you're doing it online, you're just like, shut up, kid. Like, to some random guy that with no repercussions, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, that was just venting steam. And then I was like, this sucks. And then it was a low point for me.
What topics were you debating?
Well, I made a post, and it was, if I still had my account, I'd know what it was. It was about, like, something shipping. Shipping for it's like when 2 characters are paired with each other, like in a romantic way, and I'm like,
oh, okay.
So, something like robots shouldn't be.
Oh, shipping Transformers.
Yo, people do it. Yeah, so some people. There's a whole sect of. We're not talking about Transformers in this episode.
Are there female Transformers? One question.
There are, yeah. I mean, yeah. So it's people. I mean, part of the fandom is really down bad about anything, and they'll sexualize anything, and
it's metallic?
Yeah. Is it copper? Like, and they'll just sexualize anything. I think that's disgusting. I'm like, okay, like, dude, they're robots.
Yeah. Who would sexualize a Transformer, guys?
No, I mean, I'm just, that's just not. They're robots. They fight battles. They're not like doing other stuff.
Yeah, totally not hot.
Something you haven't told me?
Go on.
So it was a post like that. Like, we shouldn't do that. Like, it's just weird. People that do are weird. Like, they need to get off the internet. Like, all that. And obviously, there's, people come flooding in. My thing gets reposted a bunch. And
do you recall exactly what you posted?
well, not verbatim.
But some female transformer got shipped with a male transformer.
No. It was just a general,
just
a general post about we shouldn't be doing, like, people shouldn't do this. It's, like, gross. It's just, like, mentally.
Guys, we're better than this.
It's just some weird no, I know. I mean, I said it in like a the people who do this are mentally ill and, like, need to go outside and touch grass and be assigned to, like, psych wards. Like, you don't, like, they're robots. Like, don't be disgusting. Don't be degenerate. Okay. And in doing so, I was degenerate in a different way. I was rage baiting. I was getting my kicks in for a little argument. So I was kicking my feet in the car, just like, oh, like, someone responded. Like, I can, like, bash on them now. It was nothing serious or deep. It wasn't some crazy political issue. That's when I talk about politics, I feel like I'm more civil. I mean,
but when the Transformers comes out, all bets are off.
Then it's I'm like, the gloves go down. It's just different ballparks. But I just remember, it's fun to be a hater. It's fun to be angry and
this is not the point we were trying to make.
Well, let me finish. It's fun to do all that, but that doesn't get you anywhere. That just makes you feel worse. And at the end of those 3 days, when I re-downloaded Twitter, I felt worse than I did after my shitty day at Davis. And I just realized that, and I was like, wait, this, like, is terrible. And I was getting a hit every time that somebody would respond and also got mad, and then I could get mad at them. I could call them all these names, and yeah. I'm just remembering some of the things I said. Yeah. And it's fun to do that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit me. People that came at me with their responses that boosted the conversation, that made it more inflammatory, didn't benefit them. I'm sure they didn't, at the end of that conversation, they didn't feel satisfied or happy. They didn't get me. And I didn't get them. It was, there's no conclusion. It's just whoever decides to respond last. Or whoever decides to not respond. And if you decide to not respond, then you're letting somebody get the final word. And if you don't get responded to, I mean, there's no winners in an internet online conversation.
Knowing that people like you exist and they, like, will not stop until they get the last word, I'm going to, like, purposefully, like, induce arguments in my comment section to boost my engagement.
Oh, people have done that. I was on TikTok like 30 minutes ago in the bathroom, and I saw this guy who was my entire TikTok is Transformers now because of this new movie. I guess we are talking about Transformers in this episode. Okay. And some guy was talking about these toys, and he called one of the Transformers Shockwave. He called him Soundwave, which is it's not correct. And I looked at the comments, and every comment was, "You said the wrong thing. You said the wrong thing." That's engagement farming. That is for a purpose. It's to get people to engage and comment and boost it. And that's how I could see it in my algorithm. It wasn't a crazy post. It wasn't anything. It was just, hey, look at these toys that I have.
My favorite version of what you're talking about is my feed has a lot of food on it. It's like a lot of baking and, like, making custom food. And they'll, like, make this beautiful recipe, and then when they're finally about to take a bite, there's, like, a fly on it or, like, an ant. And the whole comment section is like, why is there an ant on it? That's disgusting. There's an ant on your food. I'm like, you guys just fell right into the trap. Like, that is genius. That is, like, male manipulator behavior.
When people mispronounce something on purpose, I've heard plenty of videos where somebody will, and I've started doing this now for fun, somebody will call, like, Mario or something, and every comment on a short or something, and every comment will be, why do you call it Mario? Why do you say Mario? I've started doing that. I'm sure you've noticed. There's a little thing that's painted outside of our apartment, and it's it's a question mark. It's one of the Mario question marks. It's like some square. It's for some reason.
Oh, that's why you.
And there's a little mushroom on it, and it's all painted to look like Mario. And I remember once we were walking past, and I said, "Oh, it's a Mario thing." And Evan, it got Evan to say something.
MC rage baited me IRL.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's crazy.
And then I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." That's what I said. You said Mario. I said, "Yeah, I know." I said Mario. And he said, "It's Mario," and I said, "That's what I said." I said Mario.
Well, this is coincidentally segueing into what we were going to talk about originally.
Segway surfers, subway surfers, brain rot. Do you know those like TikTok videos?
What the hell?
I made a bridge into what we were talking about.
Tear that bridge down, bro. Bro is not a civil engineer with that bridge.
Do you know those TikTok videos that well, you actually used to make them. Subway surfers under
what thirst traps?
Well, that's different. That was your West
It was
Coast,
the times.
certified West Coast
Kitty cat killer.
West Coast kitty cat killer. Different thing. Those videos on TikTok or Instagram or anywhere with the subway surfers under it and the Reddit. You know, I accidentally slipped and fell into my coworker. Yeah, like.
I 34M.
I 34F, but yeah. Anyway,
my coworker, 16F.
Yeah. And how? So we were talking about this before. We've been talking about this for a while now about how much of a dependency that gives you. How much that makes it harder for you to concentrate and focus. And I know you have some choice opinions about this.
I need to like give you a mirror and like have you say it to yourself. Like, yeah, go on.
So go speak your truth about what you think is the issue.
About the issue or about you and the issue?
Whatever you want.
Okay. Let me put it this way. I think if you watch the other videos on my channel, I think this generation is failing. No satire, no shenanigans, no inflammatory stuff. Like, this generation is going so shitty, partly because of the instant gratification that social media gives you in terms of dopamine. Everybody is seeking superficial dopamine now. You have I'm trying to think. Prawn, right? That's how the influencers say it.
The sea animal?
No.
Oh, prawn.
You have internet prawn. You have prawn stars. All right. You have all these rage baiters. You have all these people wanting likes to the point where Instagram implements a feature where you can hide your likes because you're so self-conscious because you attribute your self-worth to a number you get on social media. Look, if you do social media for a living and your post doesn't perform well and you want to do that, I get it. Like, if that's your brand and it makes you look bad, fine. But for most people with under 2,000 followers, the difference is negligible. But people are assigning those 20 to 30 likes difference to their self-worth to the point where they're so self-conscious about it. Because that's why I think it's bad. I think that's the genealogy of it, that people don't acknowledge their own self-worth because they can just put it superficially onto social media. I don't think it's healthy at all. People are avoiding intimate connections. People don't date anymore. They just go on elongated talking stages where they don't have labels. You know, they avoid intimacy. There's this whole texting culture, this good morning text, National Boyfriend's Day. I made a whole video about this. You should watch it, actually. I think it's ridiculous. I think that everyone, and especially with your honesty is being trifled with. All these people trying to sell you their online courses. They're renting Lamborghinis at the dealership for a weekend to film an Instagram video for their online course to sell you crypto, even though they haven't made a penny off of it. And they're just like, you can get rich off of day trading if you pay me $75 a month for my online course. It's just a quick get-rich-quick scheme. There's a lot of those, and I think a lot of them are being made and popularized and putting pressure towards moving in that direction because of social media. So I'll let you respond to that, and then we can get into you and social media, because yours is a little bit different.
Well, I don't think there's much to respond to. I think I agree. I think I've fallen victim, like we're going to talk about, to a lot of these pitfalls. When you said the whole thing about people don't date anymore, they just go into elongated situationships, I gave a little Jim Halpert look at the camera. This is what I've done this a lot. That's my vice.
Well, here's what it comes down to. People are treating social media like it's the problem. It's not the problem. It's the solution to too many people. It's the solution in that people struggle to manage their feelings, because feelings, good and bad, are hard to manage. Just like if you tried to set out for a goal, if you said in New Year's, you were going to go to the gym every day, and come February, you quit because it was too hard, and what do you do with that? You feel like a failure. You set out to do something and you found you couldn't do that. How do you deal with that feeling? I know for me, when I had a very similar situation, I would just go on social media, especially because my mind is the type to operate consistently and constantly, even though it diverges from my best interest. So you just use it to soak up all your time and energy and entertain yourself and run from these bad thoughts you're having. And the same thing is true with, relationships. When there's all these tender feelings and your partner says something mean because they were mad at you, that might stick with you for a while. And then how do you deal with that feeling? You go on social media. And that just has ripple effects to everything. And then it becomes a habit. And then it eventually becomes a part of who you are. And now you have all these people in this generation, their whole personalities are TikTok. You have the girls with their Stanley Cups, and I oop, and you have the guys who just want to, watch the Joe Rogan podcast and go to the gym, which, I'm guys, but
It's a pot calling the kettle black. That's
yeah, I'm guys, but look, what I'm getting at is it's an unhealthy coping mechanism that a lot of people employ just because hard feelings are hard to manage. And when there's an easy cop-out that's never been provided before in the form of social media and instant gratification from Instagram likes, teenagers who don't know any better are going to employ that strategy constantly. What's your screen time?
Let me check.
I'm just using you as an example, by the way. I'm not even referring this to you. I'm just saying that this is ubiquitous among all the teenagers.
So far this week, it's 7 hours and 3 minutes on average. It's down 8% from last week.
Okay. This, I'm not calling you out. I just want to use that as an example.
No, I didn't think
let's
you were. Well, I have 10 hours on TikTok. This is, I think, weekly. 10 hours on Instagram. 4 hours on YouTube. 3.5 hours on text. And 2 hours on Snapchat. Yeah. I'm pretty cooked.
Let's just do some math here. 7 hours a week. There's 52 weeks in a year.
He has a math major, by the way. He lives for that.
So 7 hours a week times 52 weeks in a year. That's roughly 360 hours. No. Maybe I'm not a math major.
Cut the camera.
It's 7 hours a day.
Oh.
Okay. 50 hours a week times 52 weeks in a year. That's 2,500 hours a year on your phone.
So I'm cooked.
That's over 100 days of the year on your phone.
So I'm cooked.
Holy.
What's your screen time?
Dude, that's a good.
Yeah, I feel like it's. I'm guessing in 2 hours.
Well,
I feel like it's much less.
Here's the thing. I feel like mine is going to be weird because I listen to music when I work.
Oh, well, me too, but that's only on YouTube.
I don't consider, if I'm listening to music while I'm working, I don't consider that screen time.
I don't know. I listen to music when I work. I listen to it, which we're leading into, basically all the time.
Yeah, this is saying 8 hours and 19 minutes a day.
So it's fine, yeah.
But that's...
I listen to music.
Oh, okay. Okay, yesterday was 9 hours and 33 minutes. But 8 hours of that was YouTube. The next was 36 minutes on Instagram. The next was Maps. 19 minutes on Maps.
You gotta get somewhere. I get it.
I listen to my music on YouTube, by the way. No, actually,
We both are YouTube music listeners.
But here's the thing. I'm a step above. Because I am scared of this dopamine stuff, because there was a while I was on my phone way more than you. I was on my phone probably 10, 11 hours a day, just when I had nothing going on, when I was really feeling honestly miserable about who I was and where I was going. And I wanted to avoid that. So when I'm saying all this, I'm speaking directly from experience. But now I'm to the point, I'd overcorrect. I listen to my music on YouTube without YouTube Red, because I want the ads, because when you download the YouTube Premium, you can listen to music while scrolling on other apps. And that is too much dopamine for, I feel like, is beneficial for myself. So I purposely neglect getting the premium version because I don't want that functionality, because I don't want it to, one thing is stimulating enough, you know what I mean?
I have premium. I'm cooked.
I mean, I don't know.
It's fine. I mean,
how would do you feel like it negatively impacts you?
No, well, we're leading into this, and I've been trying to segue for a sec.
Oh.
I don't think it negatively impacts me. I think that listening to music, well, I guess we're just talking about music now. That's how I'm taking it, at least. Listening to music I do it almost the entire day. I fall asleep with my AirPods on. I wake up at 4 a.m. when they die. I put them in their case. I fall back asleep. I wake up after my shower. I go to class listening to music. I eat. I do everything listening to music. When I'm with friends, and he hates me for this. He just realized this a few days ago. The neurons activated in your brain to finally be able to see this other dimension that I always have my one AirPod in. I like conversing is so much easier for me. Doing things is way easier when I have external stimulus that's just music, and I'm able to drown it out. It's just nice that it's there. It really helps me, and that's pretty brain rotty, but it helps a lot.
And what I'd say to that is, I no doubt believe that listening to music helps you focus, but drinking alcohol makes you more sober, is the analogy I like to give it. It certainly can help, but I feel like to a certain extent. What?
It makes you sober.
What? Is that what I said?
Drinking alcohol makes you sober?
Sorry, I must have misspoke.
Oh, okay. I was like...
No, I'm saying consuming alcohol would make you better at socializing.
Oh, yeah,
Is the analogy I draw to you. Listening to music helps you socialize, socialize more effectively, right?
Just do any task. Not even...
anything.
I'm just focus. It helps me focus. It helps me... It just helps me with things throughout the day.
Okay. And I totally believe that to be true. And I guess there's a bit of a dichotomy. You know, music is one thing, which, I don't know, I listen to music in the gym and on low volume when I work, just because I like that background noise to, you know, tune out any extraneous thoughts and become immersed in what I do. But I still think that's something I want to cut down on as well. I just think when you're able to, your body is typically men who have more testosterone in their system. They are naturally designed to derive dopamine from things that are accomplishments. Like, you know, eating provides a lot of dopamine because, you know, when you're a caveman and you killed an elk and got to feed your tribe, that was an accomplishment. You know, having sex, don't got to explain why that's an accomplishment. Doing anything good with your life. You get a promotion at work, you're happy, you're ecstatic because you worked really hard to get it and it's finally paying off. These are the things you should absolutely feel happy about. I'm so like, I wish people felt more happy about that. Like, I think those are such great things that were biologically programmed into us, and it's helped me in many ways to stay motivated. But I think a lot of people are addicted to that feeling, partly because you can get it whenever you want. Now with social media, there's
prawn.
Yeah,
like you said,
internet prawn. That's a big thing. Just social media. You have
everything's at your fingertips. You can watch whatever you want. You can DoorDash. You don't have to leave your house to get food. You can.
I'm seeing these QR codes at menus, because one thing it's doing is, oh, that's one big thing I forgot to mention, socializing. It used to give you so much dopamine because humans were inherently social creatures, you know? That's what John Locke said however many years ago. We're designed to be able to talk to one another and be compassionate, but now all of a sudden people realize, oh yeah, well, you could say something awkward, you could be awkward, you could say something stupid and have someone get mad at you. Gee, I might not socialize because that bad thing can happen to me. But anything bad can happen to you. I don't think that's an excuse to go all text mode or only operate over Snapchat pictures and stuff, which a lot of people are doing. I mean, a lot of people, they prefer to talk to people they don't really know over text. Not even, you know, if there's a distance thing, that's fine.
Dating apps, also a big thing. It's just easy to meet people online, and you don't have to go out of your house to find people that you're into, that you're attracted to. It's just a numbers game.
I mean, you know, we can talk about the social media industry or the prawn industry, but the dopamine industry has been so persistent in developing these impossible to resist solutions to every metric of dopamine that you're biologically designed to crave. Everything from food, processed food that is specifically designed with red 40 and ingredients that are designed to be addictive in the same way that cigarettes and methamphetamine are addictive. Having sex, other than prawn, like, you can just go to Tinder and you can just find 100 beautiful women that you can just swipe on and be yes, no, like yes. Like, the whole dating and selection thing is messed up. Social media. Oh, I don't like when I feel sad and I have to go talk to people, so I am just going to put up this front that my life is perfect and I'm going to put only all of my best moments with my friends, where I'm happy, where I'm social, where I'm the center of attention, and I'm going to say that is this facade that I'm putting up for myself. All of these metrics have been hyper extorted to being the most addictive, the most dopamine fulfilling systems possible. And when you give that to someone who's 15 or younger, that's going to mess them up in the same way that if you tell a 15-year-old boy he can't cry because men don't cry, that's going to mess him up. It's the same thing. But because it's too much of a good thing instead of too much of a bad thing, people bat an eye.
Big dopamine is in the government's pocket.
I mean, why wouldn't it be? If you want to, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, but if you want to keep people happy and docile, just throw a bunch of cool toys at them, let them play around with it for a while. But the dimension I'm trying to frame this point in is self-accountability. I think if you're a parent, this is great too, but for yourself, if you analyze that whenever you feel sad, you tend to go on social media, like, that's not real. I don't know if I can say that in a way that resonates it. Like, when you feel sad and you go to social media, that is not real. Like, that's not actually fixing the problem. That's a temporary solution. It's not a tangible thing in the way that confronting your problems or talking to someone about it is. It's not a viable solution. So, I don't know. I mean, what do you think about all this?
I agree. Well, I'm a victim to a lot of this, or a victim. I don't know. I do a lot of it. I have pretty crazy ADHD where, I always need stimulus. I always need to be watching something. I remember you walked into my room yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I had a video. I was watching a video on my...
Oh my God, he was literally like Mozart 2x speed in 1 year, Chinese Bible in the... What did you have?
I was in my Zoom class. Oh, here, actually, yesterday I had that realization. Yesterday was even worse, and you weren't even there to walk in on it, and I just took a step back, and I was like, holy moly. Oh, I kept doing it. I was just like, Evan would hate it if he saw me. I was in a Zoom class on my laptop. I was listening to music with my AirPods in, with one AirPod in my left ear, because I had to listen to the Zoom in the right ear, and then I was playing this video game Sekiro on my desktop. So it was three sources of stimulus. Just yeah. And I took a step back for a second after one of my, I died in the game, and I was just like, oh, this is pretty bad. And then I kept
like,
going.
Evan would hate this. Oh damn.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, no, I've kind of always been like that. I mean, I remember I was watching. Oh, I was watching. When you came in the last time, I was watching the Philip DeFranco show. It's a news show, at 2x speed, while also playing Sekiro. So I also watch every TikTok. I watch all YouTube videos, everything on 2x speed. Yeah. I can't watch it slowly. I'm gonna have to rewatch. Evan's been wanting me to rewatch episodes of this podcast, the last two that we've made, to get me to watch myself and be able to be a better speaker. I say
not necessarily.
Oh, I mean, that's how I think I should too. I think you're a very good speaker. I'm trying to take pointers. You told me I say a lot, and I'm trying to catch myself. That's I remember awesome. The first time I said it in this episode, I went,
Well, hang on. The main reason I want you to watch this is because you did it, so you may as well watch it.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yes, I mean, yeah, but I'm going at it through the lens of I want to watch it to see what I do, what my mannerisms are like, where I'm looking, how I'm positioned, if this arm is here,
Great. I love it.
All that, or if my arm is here, if my phone is too far away, too close, we don't have another microphone, so I'm on my phone. All that. That's great. What vocal tics I have, all that. And I was going to watch it yesterday. I ended up going to sleep, but I started watching the beginning. I watched the first 20 minutes, and it took all my energy to not put it at 2x speed. It was just a slog. I was like, damn, this is so slow. This was the first video in years I'd even considered watching at normal speed. I'm cooked. I've been saying it I'm cooked.
Well, and
I don't want to change. That's the thing. I'm unapologetic about it. I feel like it hasn't really impacted me that negatively so far. I'm sure there will be a breaking point where I have my 5 screens and I'm doing 50 other things, and I'm just like, what the hell am I doing? But so far, and for the last 20 years of my life, I've been alright. I survived.
This is awesome. We have both sides of the
We're very different people. We are.
I don't think so at all. I
think we're crazily different people.
Well, I used to be where you were at. I mean, it took conscious, very difficult, concerted, intentional efforts to wean myself off of dopamine. It was hard. It was really hard. And that's a whole nother episode right there. It's the psychology of why people are gravitated towards instant gratification. And then if you are, how do you wean off of it? That's a whole another vein that would take another 2 episodes in and of itself to fully cover.
I love how this dynamic is you talking about all your articulate stuff, and I'm talking about the stupid brain rot, just
it's good to have.
Our sides of the couch are so incredibly different. Your interests are all in the realm of self-help and about how you've changed and how the issues you see, and you articulate this, and it's very psychologist, it's very life coach guru. That's our neighbor. And it's great, and I'm realizing, or I've known this, my side is very, it's
No. And first of all, I disagree with that. From the conversations, we have had very good conversations, including the one recently. It's great just being but you have more depth.
It's the stuff we bring up. It's what you like to talk about, where you lead us, and then where I lead us are different. And I like that.
But it's what I like to talk about, and what you like to talk about, but not necessarily who you are. You have more depth than just what you're saying.
Yeah,
surface
I mean, we
dopamine crap.
Of course, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. One thing about I like to talk about more intellectual things on this podcast because I do not have a source for doing that otherwise. Most of the people my age and around me, they're just not interested in this kind of shit. I've always considered myself an old soul in that way. I'm so endlessly interested in not just human psychology, but the development of like how things are transpiring in the world and how these different ideas and ideologies are panning out and how different habits like going on your phone is going to lead to a vastly different lifestyle than the people who don't. Just all of these things that involve thinking. I don't think people think anymore. And what, like, social media, you don't need to think. You just distract yourself. Hey, you need to write an essay? Just put it in ChatGPT. You don't need to put all that work into crafting, formatting, and editing. Like, I like thinking. I really, really like thinking. And I know there's people out there that like to think too. I haven't found a lot of them. I found some really great people, but in my experience, you know, like when we go out, I like to just talk about surface level stuff. I'm not like this at parties. I'm not like, what is music? Like,
You talk about the political and economic state of the world right now.
what is alcohol? No, but
Have you ever thought about not taking that next sip?
But you talk about what I like to talk about. I like talking about this because it makes me think. It's mildly difficult, and I like that. Just like I like the gym. It's mildly difficult. It's not so difficult that you injure yourself, but it's not easy enough that you can dick around. You know, there's that middle. It's like the Buddhist middle way. This is what I like to talk about. In the same way, I don't like a video game that's so easy I can beat it every time, or so hard that I fail at every level. I like something in between, you know? And I think a lot of people, they just tend to gravitate to...
That's why you like Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, exactly. You know, a lot of people, oh, what's your major? Oh, that's cool. You're an econ major. You must like money. You know, that's what a lot of the conversations go on.
Where are you from?
Oh, I've heard of that place.
I have a boy from there, maybe.
Oh, yeah. You're from LA? I've heard of LA.
That's where La La Land was filmed.
Yeah. That's short for Los Angeles.
La La Land is a banger movie, by the way.
I haven't seen it. Wolf of Wall Street. We still need to watch.
We're gonna watch Wolf of Wall Street together. That's our plan. And what was I gonna make you watch? Also, it was a show. I hadn't seen it though. We were talking about this yesterday. Wolf of Wall Street, and then you said we were going to watch something together.
Transformers?
No. Well, yes, but no. It'll come to me. I don't know.
But, yeah. How do you feel about, I don't know, this generation in general? Like, the people you talk to.
Well, I think the generation... Well, I'm more worried about, like, the state of the world. The generation, I don't really... People are young. We're still growing. We're not fully developed yet. There's a lot of room for improvement, I think. I think, you know, we're all just... we're adults, but we're also kids. My brain hasn't fully developed yet, nor has yours, nor has anyone's this age. I think that there are still a lot of things we need to do, and people are in different stages so far. And I think that it's going to work out. I'm more worried about, like, my big, like, thing is how the directions we're going and how polarized we are in politics and in everything, and how, as we were talking about at the beginning of this episode, how people tend to gravitate towards the negative and how easy that is. People don't like to be positive. People don't like to be social and to enjoy each other. People just like to rip on each other and just be pretty vile. And I've fallen victim to this, and you have, and everyone has. Those are my bigger concerns. You know, the generation, the brain rot, all that. It's bad, but it's not world ending. I just think that the general culture. Not even just in this generation, people of all ages do it. Adults, there are still adults who do this, are pretty, everyone's inclined to just be a worse person.
But so when you say the state of the world, you're not talking countrywide, but more on a civilian level.
That's what I meant. I mean, also countrywide, yada, 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 stuff's going to shit. I meant it more, yes. No, not from a political science perspective, more from a social, sociological perspective.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'm more in on the generation thing. I think
we have different. We're different. We're different people.
No, I think I've had the experience of talking to a lot more older people.
Yeah.
Because I like to talk about how things are, because I don't think how things are the way they either always have been or always will be. I think we're always at this like cross section where how it is now. When you haven't experienced a lot, you think this is how it is. But then if you talk to more people with different experiences, you see how things change. And I think in a college atmosphere, unless you have reasons to talk to other people from different generations, you talk to everyone from your same your same age group. And, you know, and everyone roughly thinks the same things. You know, there's political disagreements, but, you know, generational differences are a very real thing. So when you kind of confirmation bias surround yourself with all those people, it pans out in a very uniform outlook on life. But I don't know. I just like challenging what I think because it helps me figure out why. But I promise I don't talk like this at parties. I swear to God.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I swear to God.
I've heard him pull these same talking points on girls.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how's the political economic state of the world, baby?
What do you think of this generation? Shoddy.
How's your dopamine addiction? Well, you bring it lighter then.
I'll bring it lighter. Well,
Dan TDM.
Well, I haven't seen a Dan TDM video in ages. I
Every mod pack that came out.
I was a Sky Does Minecraft kid.
Butter.
Butter, and he hated squids.
Bro, who's that one?
And then I think he beat his girlfriend or something.
Bro, who's that one tweaker guy? The like watermelon dude.
Which watermelon?
Bro, the watermelon guy.
Oh,
No, like that's a valid description. Like, do you know it? It's like, bro, hang on, keep yapping. I'm looking at.
Although I don't know the watermelon dude. I was a big Sky Does Minecraft guy. What?
No, go on.
Yes, and well, that was that and like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. Those are and there's this one YouTube channel called Venturian Tale, and they ended up splitting up. They were all like 4 siblings, and stuff went to shit with their whole relationship. But they did like Gary's Mod videos. I love that. I grew up.
Gmod was awesome.
Gmod. I actually just
Basher.
I've never seen Basher.
This guy.
No, I've never seen him.
Oh, he was in like the Sky Does Minecraft like prison channels.
Oh, I don't know.
That dude was like actually on Fent every episode. Like I just watch his videos and start laughing.
Was he the original brain rot?
No, he was the original. I swear. Like anyone who's watched Bash, I think that's his name, Basher or something.
That's my entire Instagram Reels feed right now. Is just the Jonkler, Joker, Patrick Bateman, like bass boosted laughter with like lasers coming out of his eyes, and like Ryan Gosling like burping. That's all me and my friends send each other. I've spent hours and hours just watching that, scrolling that. I have a friend here who I just do it with. Like, that's all I do. What?
Yours is like the stuff that like makes no sense, but it's like funny.
Yeah. I'm actually laughing just thinking about it.
No, I know.
No, it's like, a very. I mean, it's silly. It's funny because it doesn't make any sense.
My favorite is like where they have the news header and they like circle a a part of the text that sounds like a celebrity.
Oh, and
and then it's the form of the celebrity. That one's my favorite. Have you seen like the Walter White one?
Yeah, it's like I like those. I like there's just this noise clip that's just someone yelling "Get out." Get out, and it's someone on a skiing and they fly off this like hill and they hit this like chairlift and it just speeds up and it's just like get out.
Bro,
and
send me this video. I'm gonna like overlay it.
oh okay, I will. You'll watch it. It's it's nothing, but it just makes me giggle like a little girl. Like it's so silly. I love it. No, I love it.
I'm gonna put that in.
Put it in.
That's I know the exact one you're talking about.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's we're coming close to time.
I'd say so.
Covered
a lot. We went from video games to
No, not even. Was it video game?
Jacksepticeye and
Oh well, yes, like YouTubers and celebrities and controversies and.
But where'd we go?
We went
for
from
that
there.
and dopamine.
Well, we went from there to, how easy it was to get polarized and to say
rage baiting on
rage
Twitter.
baiting. How I used to do that. All that, and then we went to
how if this generation doesn't
that
purposefully deprive itself of dopamine every once in a while, I think we're going to be in a really bad place.
And then we talked about my experiences with and then we circled back. Oh, we spoke about Mr. Beast for a while.
Oh yeah.
And about Logan Paul, about KSI, and well, I don't know. Then we went to
Then Sky Does Minecraft.
and Dan
Basher-
TDM,
Basherverse.
Basherverse. I've never seen him. And then about Brain Rot.
Yeah.
I'd say pretty
Productive, if I do
productive.
say so myself.
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, thank you guys for watching. Let us know. We want to find a name for the podcast. So if anyone made it this far, like, please comment a name, because we're still working that out. Naming stuff, it's harder than it seems. I don't know. So leave any ideas. But I'm Evan.
I'm Marco.
Thank you guys for watching.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Xiao Hong Shu.
Bye-bye.